Live from West St. Paul Studios, it's time for MinneZona Sports Live with DJ Mattie C and Paul the Shield Vold.
And this is MinneZona Sports Live. We are back with our Granite City Lumberjacks special. Yes, claps all around.
Wow.
Claps all around.
Wow.
And without further ado, I'm your host, DJ Mattie C, a.k.a. Matt Kelly, a.k.a. Kelly, a.k.a. Mattie C, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And all the way from Granite City, Shield.
Yeah.
We're finally back together.
Seriously.
And this is the first time ever, so claps all around.
Yes, claps,
First all
indeed.
around.
I can't believe it took us almost, 4 years to get to this point? I mean, this
Yeah.
show is pre-COVID.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been.
Yeah.
But literally, this is the first time that we're doing the show live together. I literally have no idea how this is going to go, but
Yeah.
it's only going to do two things. It's either going to go horribly right or horribly awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think it's going to go well because we have a special guest.
We do. Guests.
Guests,
Plenty.
per se. And you know what's great about it is we haven't had this guy on since season one.
Yeah.
And now he is back, DJ Vold. Claps
Dixon.
all around.
Yes.
Head coach of the Granite City Lumberjacks. DJ, it's been a long time. You're finally back. Happy to have you.
I appreciate you guys having us and being here.
So, Voldy, you got some questions.
A few.
Look, we're gonna have some fun with this, and
Yes.
then I got some stuff, and then rapid fire.
Of course,
So-
always with the rapid fire. It's a specialty as well. For those that don't know, DJ, Dixon James Vold, here's head coach for your Granite City Lumberjacks as well. Threw that out there as well. Full given government name as well. But of course, we got to talk a little bit for those that don't know about the Lumberjacks too, and obviously how the team has gone, to start off the season too. A little bit of a rocky start after winning the championship last year, but things are for sure starting to come together a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to call it a hangover, but it could be. I mean, it's probably the roughest start we've ever had, but we clawed our way out of it, and we're on a pretty good roll right now.
Yeah, definitely looking at, too, with how things have kind of rolled out now as of late, too. And, of course, now this year being your first full year as head coach, and I'm sure you've gotten the question a million times, so here's 1,000,001 more for you. With now being the full-time head coach, I'm sure a lot hasn't changed, but still there are some other things that you look at from previous years that now have added on to your, maybe not so much daily tasks, but, a few things that you keep a closer eye to as well.
Yeah, I mean, not a ton has changed for me. I mean, with Brad, it was kind of a 1A, 1B thing where we kind of just handed each other things and got the jobs done, where I've got my assistant, who you guys will see here shortly.
Yeah.
Me and him kind of get everything done. Not a ton has changed, so just come in and do our jobs.
Yeah, and we look forward to obviously a great contest tonight. We've got Alexandria in town tonight. Of course, the team you beat for the championship too. But we're gonna stay away from the serious side of things. Well, of course, we want to still have fun too. And one of the things that we want to talk about too, obviously, you still are out on the ice on a regular basis with the team too. You're still able to maybe mix it up a little bit with some of these young kids, or you find yourself a little bit on the back seat sometimes?
I do a lot of standing and watching nowadays, but I jump in every now and then. I just get winded really fast, so I don't get to go for very long.
Right.
Of course, with your supreme hockey knowledge that we do have as well, we got to talk about two teams in particular. One being obviously the Minnesota Wild.
Yep.
And of course your Toronto Maple Leafs too, that you're a fan of. What do you think it'll take for the Wild to win a Stanley Cup?
Oh, golly. I think goaltending's an issue right now, when that's tough, because it's hard to win without them. They're normally the best players on cup-winning teams, and then scoring's been the issue for years, right? I mean, Kirill does a great job, and we've got a pretty good lineup up front. It's just I don't know that we necessarily have a guy that when we need a goal, he can go out and get us one.
Exactly.
What about Bogosian? How do you feel about that trade that took place recently?
I'm a fan of those guys, right? He's kind of a meat and potatoes guy. He's a big boy, plays the game hard, and he's been a part of Stanley Cup teams, and that's
Fair enough.
value right there too. So I'm sure that's something Billy G's looking at. But no, I don't mind the ad. I don't know how big of a part he's gonna play, but it's always good to have guys like that in your locker room.
What about your Leafs? Of course, Austin Matthews saved the world, all of that. How do you feel about your Leafs and a chance to win a Stanley Cup?
Well, it feels like if Matthews isn't on the ice, they struggle.
Fair enough.
Don't get me wrong. They've got the scoring punch that the Wild miss. I think they miss a little bit of the depth. They can't defend worth a crap, so they got to score 6 goals a game to win, and that doesn't work come playoff time. So we'll see. And they'll be good in the regular season again, and probably break our hearts. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, it is a Toronto team, like any Minnesota sports team, except this is
true.
Canada. They find a way to break your heart one way or another. So
Give or take, yeah.
give or take, international boundaries and all of that too. So
Yeah. Well, since we're bringing the MinneZona flavor, let's. Voldy has talked about a couple things. There was an argument that you and your brother had about my guy, Kirk-Cousins. Kirk
we
Cousins.
need to preface this argument that we had. This was at the lake, and there may not been a few pops taken between us.
That's true.
After a long day out on the lake and everything.
That's true.
Watching quarterback on Netflix too. So we'll preface that here with said rebuttal on arguments here.
True. So before the Kirk injury, would you say, absurd or approved, Kirk Cousins top 10 quarterback?
If he is top 10, he's 8, 9, or 10. I've kind of swayed the other way. I used to be a firm no guy too.
Yeah.
So I'm a little biased there, but probably. I'd say he's probably top 10.
Well, it's settled.
I mean,
It's settled,
I
Shield.
win that argument. I'll take that.
It's settled.
I'll take it. Of course, I had, in no particular order, of course,
Yes.
with Kirk in the top 10, Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Joe Burrow, Tua, Lamar, and then like literally a coin flip week to week.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. Like, which Herbert are you going to get? That's what I had for
That's the makes
and
more
Kirk
sense.
is like 7, 8, 9, or 10, but still, top 10 is top 10.
It was top 3 in yards, I think, touchdown passes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I
we
just want
got
him to win a big game.
right.
Win a big game.
True.
That's the thing.
Fair enough.
Something like that.
I mean, he has, but I mean,
right. So, thoughts on our Vikings? I mean, Sunday was unbelievable.
Yep.
The Pastronaut,
Yep.
Joshua Dobbs, goes in there, gets the job done. What are your thoughts so far on these Vikings? I mean, it has been a roller coaster of a season. They start off 1-4 or something like that, and all of a sudden, whoa, they're 5-4. Josh Dobbs under center. So, what are your thoughts so far on our purple?
It kind of feels like our hockey team there for a little bit, where we started. Vikes start 1-4. I think we started 3-4, and we're 11-4 now. They're going in the right direction, and I just hope that continues. I like Dobbs' feet, and I think that's an asset for us that, let's say, Kirk doesn't bring. But we'll see. I mean, I think, who do we have this week?
The Saints.
So the Saints have time to prepare for Dobbs, but he's also got time to actually take reps. And so I'm excited to see what this week brings, just because I think it's a real look at what he can do.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like, learning the playbook, going in from Josh Dobbs. Dobbs, I feel like, like you said, he's a lot more mobile than Kirk. And Kirk is one of those guys that just isn't as mobile. And now we haven't seen a mobile quarterback for the Vikings for a long time, Shield.
That sounds like
DJ.
Tavares, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Tavares. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I think they'll win tomorrow
Obviously.
against the Aints, because we all hate the Aints here. And they're probably, even though Sean Payton's not there anymore, but still, we hate the Aints.
By
They're going to
proxy.
lose. But are there any other Minnesota hot takes, since we're doing, we're not doing Tater Tot hot take tonight, but we might as well get a Tater Tot hot take from you today. Any hot Minnesota sports takes that you got for us?
I think for a long time there, the Lynx were the best professional sports team we had.
Duh.
And
Count
I
the
think
rings.
it might be the Twins right now.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that way for long. Even in my lifetime, I don't know that the Twins have been better than the Vikes or the Wild.
Right.
So it's good to have baseball back in the state of hockey.
It is.
Nice.
I mean, Royce Lewis, for goodness sake.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
that guy.
If healthy, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, going up against the Astros was a tough task in general, too.
Yeah.
And Pablo Lopez was fantastic as well. Another another story for another time. But Shield, rapid fire.
All right, we got to start off. Favorite number, 9 or 11?
Ouch. I'll probably go 9, even though 11 is in everything on my computer. But I probably, like, if I had to wear one, I'd probably wear 9.
Favorite shoe that you have in your collection?
Probably the shoe I wore on the bench for the championship game last year's Jordan 1 Low Concord SE.
It's a lot of letters and a lot of words. I don't know anything about
It is,
shoes.
yeah.
Google it.
Dream shoe you want to add to your collection?
Probably, oh golly, this could get spendy. I'm going to go, if I could pick one and not have to pay for it, it'd probably be a Travis Scott Low Fragment.
Ooh, that's not bad. I like that.
I want to act like I know what that is. That's all I got.
I kind of do.
Stanley Cup favorite this year?
Ooh, we got a Bruins chant in the back. Hard to pick against Vegas.
Big ass.
But it's tough to do it back to back. I am gonna go, as much as it kills me to say it, probably the Bruins.
Nice. I'll take that. Fitted or snapbacks hats?
Fitted.
All right, I like it. Favorite jersey besides, of course, Granite City that you've worn from your career?
Probably. We did a flannel jersey for Ezra McPhail here. That was a special one. That, or we had black third jerseys in Madison when I played triple.
That was the one I was going to say. That's somewhere. And
those were different. Those were cool.
Those were different. Go-to post-game beverage?
Probably some form of IPA or Pendleton whiskey.
Ooh, with the hard
Wow,
stuff.
that's
Which ring from Granite City physically is your favorite, and where do you keep them?
I would go, not this last one, but the one prior. It has 3 cups on the top, and I got to design it, so of course. I have a little box in my desk that I try and keep them in, but half the time I lose them. My wife has to find them, so.
Yeah, handy like that.
Yep.
That's what I got for rapid fire.
all right. Well, I believe we have one more thing, though. I believe there's a certain cup, per se. I think we should.
I gotta get it.
I get.
All right,
I
fine.
get-
I'll get
Bring
it.
that thing over here
Believe
so
me,
we can
I'll
show
get
the zoners exactly what that freaking
I haven't
cup
had the
looks like.
luxury yet to hoist. Oh man, this is not light.
That ain't light. So
All right, where are we gonna
first
put
of
this
all,
thing?
Put it right here.
There. Yep.
put it right there.
Yep.
That is.
There it is.
That is fantastic. We
No
got a
worse for the
good
wear. I think this is-
shot
yeah.
of the Fraser Cup right
There
there.
it
And
is.
again, congratulations for last year too. And you guys got a big one tonight
Yep.
against the Alexandria Blizzard. And let's get that dub, huh?
Yeah,
Let's get that dub. Let's go.
Vibes are high with the zoners in town, so
Yes.
I like where we're
Huge.
going.
Yeah, we got the zoners in town. Not only that, the Lumberjacks. Thank you to the Lumberjacks for having
Definitely.
us here with this pre-show and whatnot. And DJ, we still have the best guest stuff, so
Yes.
I think you're going to be hard to beat this year. I'm not going to lie.
There's competition. There's competition.
There's competition.
Brownie points for the trophy. How
This is
about that?
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. I mean, Troy Stoudemire, I mean, I don't know,
There's a few
DJ
people.
Vold.
You got two beauties coming up here.
They're hard to beat. They're hard to beat.
I'm nervous about the next one. I'll say that much.
Listen, I don't know.
Wild
I
card
think,
is
yeah,
what we've
wild
got.
card. We'll go
Yes.
with that. Well, DJ, thanks for coming on the show with us. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it.
Let's get that dub. Can't wait to watch.
Yeah,
So
you bet.
we'll go from there.
Thank you
All
for
right.
having
All right. Next.
Whack.
All right, Shield, who do we got coming up next?
So we have assistant coach for your Granite City Lumberjacks. It's Eric Moser, and believe me, I've been drilling it in my head to get his name right. We had a little incident. We'll talk about it. We've got a couple other stories we're going to be talking about too. But Eric, come on in. Come on in. We can walk in front. We're not that professional.
All
but
right.
Sit on down, boss man. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Glad to be here. Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Excited for it.
glad you're dressed up for the part as well here too. Showing off the shirt there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's
That's
great.
sick.
A little troll from last year. One of the guys made. Just shows the goal differential at the end of the second period, and then the final score. So,
Yeah.
something to wear. I thought today would be the appropriate night to bust it out and wear it. So.
Of course, we got to start off talking about, of course, some of your habits off the ice, I should say, off the bench as well. we're going to talk about starting off first. You're a big sports gambling guy, and what do you got? What's on the line here this weekend? We need to let people know about.
Well, if the Zoner crew out there that's watching loves free money, boy, do I have the pick of the century for you.
Oh, let's
He
go.
wrote it down.
For tonight. I know you can't see it on the camera, but I'm about to give it to you. So you're welcome in advance. This is a plus $1,100 parlay. It is a nice little four-banger for tonight in the NHL.
Four-banger.
You ready for it?
Let's go.
Hang on.
Get your little your writing utensils down.
Yep.
I've got Boston, Montreal, Boston -1.5.
Ooh.
Tampa Bay, Carolina, over 6.5 goals in that game. Toronto, Vancouver, over 6.5 in that game because Toronto can't keep the puck out of their own net at home, and they're playing at home. And then Ottawa, Calgary, I'm going Ottawa money line, even though Calgary is the favorite. And that's simply because Calgary is imploding right now. You've got Zadorov that's requesting a trade, trying to get out of the place, and they're just butting heads. That locker room is not a safe space right now. They're struggling. They're going through it. So, those are my picks for tonight.
I literally did not know he could write or read, for that matter. So the fact that he wrote it down on a green Post-it note, if anything, we gotta post that up there in
Quite
the comments
legit.
there.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like it.
You got to take those odds right there. I love it.
yeah, that's plus 1,100. I mean, you just can't beat it with a stick. So,
How much money we talking here if all those legs of that parlay work out for
well, I mean, let's just really dumb it down. $10 pays out $110. So you can do the math at home and bump up that increment if you'd like to. But a nice little $10, it's just money. You can always get more of it, right?
I'm not a math guy. Can't do it.
So,
Same.
So, $10, that's you sell something on Facebook Marketplace, boom, you got your money back. So
Fair enough.
$10 bet to win 110. I mean, it's priceless, right?
Yeah.
Priceless. Love
Moser's
it.
money right here.
Yep.
And look at the ring. First of all, before we move on,
You gotta
look
take
at that
look
thing,
at that
man.
beauty.
That is a beauty.
Had to pull it out
I
just
think
to.
it's the first time this organization's done a round one. I really pushed for the round ring this year. Give us a little bit different look. She's heavy, she's plump, she's beautiful. Got 4 nice cups on the side there. A couple different color stones around, red, blue, all the diamonds, all the other extracurriculars around there. So not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. And also that you have the red like MinneZona. So hey, we're all connected. It's all connected.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Shield.
Another thing we got to bring up too with our relationship, me and Eric as well, of course, professionally speaking, but off the ice, out of the rink as well. I believe one of the first times I met you or even knew of an Eric Moser was at DJ's Bachelor Weekend as well, and thus brought the story and also past social media posts of being the lock it down guy. I believe I'm the lock it down guy. Is that how that works out? Like, I don't know the story, and I've heard it probably about 7 or 8 times, and literally have to remember every single time. Please elaborate the lock it down guy's story.
So DJ's bachelor party, what was that, back in 2018, so a couple years ago. I was actually in the process of moving from Chicago back up here to start my coaching. But came up to Breezy Point for the bachelor party, and
that was a weekend. It was debauchery is the best word to describe it.
But night one was everyone getting together, really catching our bearings and our stride for the weekend, really laying it out there. Got in one on that first night, and then day 2 started the day off with some golf per usual.
Yep.
And mind you, this is all hockey guys, so dangerous group to be a part of for sure. But yeah, we got to the golf course. I started my morning off. Well, I woke up at about 6 a.m. and yard sailed in the front yard, as in my underwear, as a family with their children were going on their morning walk.
Yep.
So that was
right
cool.
off. Because the house we were staying I can't remember. It was next to the tee or to the green of a hole on the golf course.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yard sailed in the morning to start my day.
Yeah.
Then went back inside. Everyone started, mixing up their cocktails of choice. So I joined in on that. shampoo effect heavily kicked in.
Oh, yeah.
And I was right back in the saddle that I was in on night one. And when we got to the golf course, I was kind of just perusing around the clubhouse and took a sharp left turn and almost knocked over an entire wall of golf balls. And I turned, and the first person I laid eyes on was Paul Vold.
That's me, by the way.
He looked at me and said, "You need to lock it down."
I literally do not remember that. And I was...
Really?
I think I was partly sober. I wasn't quite in it like Eric was, but literally do not remember that moment. And I guess that's just how the story goes. And
Yeah, I thought my weekend was ruined. Like I said, I didn't know Paul very well, so I
Fun police,
yeah,
this guy.
That's exactly what he
Yeah.
was. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he was. And
Yeah.
I didn't have another cocktail until the 18th hole. So it was about a 3-4 hour hiatus from the hockey waters and such. And that was the kind of beginning of our relationship. A slow start that didn't really come to fruition until probably a year or two later, or maybe even the wedding.
Yeah, probably.
but
Because you DJ'd the wedding,
I
too.
did DJ.
You
and
DJ'd at DJ's
I
wedding.
tore that bad girl up.
Yes, you did.
I'll
I'll give you props for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was stressful. I'll tell you that for free. But a lot of song requests. I mean, and God, I'm just gonna say it. And she's gonna hate it. But Jimbo coming in with arguably one of the worst song requests at the end of the night. Yeah, and it was "Welcome to the Jungle," and that was Breezy Point's walkout song, their entrance song.
Yeah.
So, working for Granite City and DJ being in Breezy Point, it was one of those things where I didn't feel comfortable playing. And towards the end of the night, when people are really starting to die off, it didn't really
Change the mood.
Yeah, it
Change
didn't
the
really
mood.
hit. But Jimbo gets what Jimbo wants,
This
and
is
so
true.
I had to follow through with that. And people weren't happy, and I told them, you're just gonna have to deal with it for the next 2-3 minutes.
Brett Love was a wild man, not only at the bachelor weekend, but at the wedding as well. He was uncomfortably comfortable with Jimbo too. I still kind of hold that against Brett Love a little bit, but it's Brett. You take it with
What the
one
heck?
of those big Himalayan piles of salt there. Yeah.
Absolutely. He's one of a kind, that's for sure.
He is a good dude. So, I mean, with all of that being said, too, I mean, I would like to think your liver probably thanked me for that 3-4 hour lapse
That's true,
in the drinking aspect as well. So, I mean, you're still here now, so obviously things worked out.
I think at the time it was glass half empty. I was
Yes.
a little taken back and a little pissed off, quite frankly. I mean, you took away from my golf game because I was a mental midget after that comment.
Yep, that's fine.
But now we're looking at a glass half full, like you just said. It probably is something that kept the fuel in the engine and kept me going the rest of the weekend, taking a couple hours off. So
I would like to think we've probably gotten past that moment, but I feel like we're just digging more salt in the wound. on
yeah,
this
you
one.
know what? It's one of those
It's
things
fine.
that's going to live on forever.
It's fine.
Lock it down, guy.
Yeah.
And now we look back on it and we have a good chuckle over it. So
Absolutely.
It's water under the fridge.
Yep.
That's what they say, right?
Absolutely. There's water, there's
Lock it
fridge,
down.
there's bridges. We're locking it down. Matt, I believe you got a couple questions too.
Actually, yeah, we got zoner questions. So, our guy, Easy A, shout out to Easy A. Are the Lumberjacks a juniors type of team? Can you explain that a little bit there, Eric?
Yeah. So we are in the junior hockey world of hockey, if that makes sense. So all of our guys, I would say 97% of our guys, because last year we had a couple high school guys that left high school early to play for us.
Yeah.
Right. Every so often that happens, but majority of the guys that play junior hockey, they are graduates of high school. Usually get 2 to 3 years of eligibility depending on your birthday. And you go play junior hockey, and it's a couple of years of development. You kind of get a sense of what it's like to live away from home, grow up a little bit, have to become a little bit more independent. And from there is where you get your opportunities to go play college hockey somewhere. So it's kind of the hockey versions of a gap year for normal people that take some time off between high school and college, where they're still working towards their goals and stuff, but it gives them an opportunity to grow, develop, get better, mature a little bit, and it prepares them for the next step of their hockey career, which is college hockey.
Hopefully you're listening, Easy A, so make sure that
Hopefully.
you got that.
I would certainly hope he is, because
Yeah.
he's usually like one of 2 people that comment.
That's true, yeah.
And the other guy, we barely know who the other
Alex.
guy is. Alex,
That
yes,
guy,
whoever
yeah,
that guy
yeah.
is.
So
friend of a friend of a friend of the show.
Yes, yeah, we'll go like that. One other thing to add, since you said you're from Chicago, right?
I am.
Which Minnesota team do you dislike the most? What'd you say?
You know, I don't really, I wouldn't say I really dislike, I don't really have a hate for a team, right?
Okay, yeah.
I think, this one's not going to sit well, but I think Minnesota sports fans as a whole, they're ridiculous. They're ridiculous. And Minnesota sports, the demise of them, I kind of feed off of it. I love it because every year it's the same stuff.
Parasite.
It's the same stuff. And Minnesota sports teams, they show the glimmer of hope until the demise happens and they can't make it past the first round or choke before the playoffs or whatever it may be. And, every year these teams come in and they give you guys some false sense of hope that it might be your year. And I don't know when that year's coming, fellas.
Yeah.
You never know.
I've been alive for a Cubs World Series and 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years.
Must be nice.
And I also saw I also saw the Bears in 2007 go to a Super Bowl and they got pumped by the Colts. My false sense of hope was Devin Hester returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
That was sick. I'll give you that.
Should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way,
Yes,
too.
he
Hot
should be.
take.
But
That's a good one. Yeah.
that was my false sense of hope. So I've seen 2 of our teams win championships in my lifetime. Who knows when the next one will be? But at least I can say I've seen them. I don't know about you guys, but
We've seen 4 WNBA championships.
Yeah, exactly. What DJ said just before.
The 5th of the big 4, the WNBA.
Just to add on to this one, do you have like a Minnesota player that you're just like, oh God, can't stand that guy?
You know what? I'm actually going to spin it, and I'm going to say Joe Ryan. Absolute
Interesting.
man rocket.
Oh,
that guy.
Good guy.
Got to keep him away from my girl because that
Fair
would,
enough.
if
Well, there's that.
yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if there's a specific player that I really can't stand, but I'm just gonna spin it on a guy that I think is all time, and it's Ryan. Ryan. I mean, the mustache, the long hair. He's a man rocket, and you just nothing but respect for that guy.
Love it. Love it.
Well, there you go. So last one before we get to rapid fire here. Who would you say is your favorite hockey player of all time? What do you think?
Ooh, this one's tough, but I would say Nicholas Lindstrom, defenseman, Hall of Famer, Detroit Red Wings, right? Growing up a Chicago boy, right? Not always on the same page with my brother, who is a Detroit Red Wings fan. Don't ask me how or why.
Wow.
But, I mean, just a stud defenseman during his time, his playing career. And growing up, it was one of those things you watch and you try and emulate and mimic what he does on the ice and add it to your game. So a good stay-at-home defenseman, did his job, and won a couple cups along the way, I think.
Hall of
So,
Famer.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Can't argue with that.
No.
We also have some zoners chiming in. Bitstream TV. Don't know who that is.
Hopefully it's Hot Donna.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Eric
Donna.
Eric the Stash. So is that your? You're very dreamy, apparently. It says so dreamy. So
You're welcome.
Because
yeah.
it's Donna.
It is a pretty
commenting.
nice stash. I'm not gonna lie. It's very good.
You know, it's coming in nicely. Supporting Movember, men's mental and physical health. So it's something small that you can do to join in on supporting that and supporting a good cause. I know this year I'm taking a year off, but in years past I've been super stern on raising money actually while growing it. A couple years ago, I rollerbladed 60 miles in a day. The 60 miles represents the 60 men that commit suicide every hour, every day. I forget the actual stat, but it was something. The way that they promoted it was 60 miles in the month. And I decided, screw it, let's do it in a day and really push ourselves and challenge ourselves. And I think that year I raised close to 10 grand for Movember. So it's something that I enjoy doing every year. It's 1 month with a mustache. Every so often, I'll get super spicy and bust the mustache out if there's an event or a bachelor party or something crazy going on. Yeah. But for November, I don't have the full enough set to really get any crazy with designs like DJ. We shaved him up pretty good yesterday before the game, but so the mustache will do. Thanks, Dad, for giving me the genes to grow a lip kitten up top, and here we are, letting it fly for the month. So
There you go. All right, rapid fire, Shield.
All right, so speaking of getting spicy, are you all in on Bedard or all out on Justin Fields?
all out on Justin Fields. Get that guy out of here. All he's given us is a false sense of hope and injury trouble. So
I want to add on the show, Voldy, you know this. I called him a bust the first when they drafted him. You need to be able to pass the ball. He cannot pass. He can only run. That's kind of where I come from that. And we've had Bears fans on the show that say this is the year, and he hasn't really stepped up. Granted, he had the injury and whatnot, but I'm glad you realize it though.
yeah, that's what you get for drafting a quarterback out of Ohio State. So
unless you
Our next
unless you're
guest isn't
CJ
happy
Stroud.
about that,
no, I mean, yeah, he's not the answer. There's a lot of work to be done with that organization. First things first, get him out of Soldier Field and get this Arlington Heights situation figured out. And then on top of that, we just need to figure out our personnel. And starting with the quarterback. And Tyson Bagent? If we can stop putting his dad on the camera, who cares that he's an arm wrestler, like, sweet dude. Let's focus on the football and trying to get better instead of arm wrestling. So,
Next question. Quintessential Chicago meal.
this one's tough. It can go one of two ways. We're going cheesy beef combo, Italian beef and Italian sausage all in one bun with some cheese on there and some giardiniera. Or you're going deep dish pizza. That's obviously more of a touristy thing. I'm more of a thin crust guy myself.
Of course.
When I go back home, you find the local spots that have thin crust. It's thin, it's crispy all the way through, and not like the doughy Minnesota pizza that everybody loves to rave about here. But yeah, I'm more of a thin crust guy, but I would say it's either the Italian beef or the deep dish pizza.
How many shots would it take for you to make the Miller Buick GMC $50,000 shot?
Ooh, I am going, when I played in the North American League, I got scratched a lot, and during those scratch skates, we did a lot of empty net shooting, and I would say over under, I am saying like under 20. I can even, I might even give myself 15 on that one.
All right.
Lock it down.
Stanley Cup favorite this year.
Vegas Golden Knights plus 700 on the futures. So if you want that free
Bing,
money
bing,
there,
bing, bing.
$10 bet pays 70 right now. A little bit, but Vegas Golden Knights, they're an absolute wagon and a powerhouse. I mean, the record shows in itself right now. It's kind of one of those things where when you face them, you better be prepared and be on your A game, or you're going to get stomped. And they did that last night to the Sharks. Obviously, that's kind of a trap game. You lose that game, doesn't look good. You win that game, doesn't look good. But yeah, Vegas Golden Knights back to back. You heard it here first.
Favorite jersey besides Granite City that you've worn in your career?
Let's go with, I'm going to say Team Illinois. AAA team that I grew up playing for. Couple state championships with that team, not a big deal. But no, I mean, representing the state of Illinois where I grew up. Blue, black, and white. Great color scheme.
I remember those colors.
Yeah, so I would say Team Illinois for sure.
What's your go-to post-game beverage?
Mick Ultra, the beer of athletes, because have you seen me?
There you go.
You probably already answered the question earlier with your little showcase of the ring, but which one is your favorite and where do you keep them?
Definitely this one. I've won one as a player and as a coach, same as DJ. He's got a couple more than I do, so I've got some catching up to do for sure. But definitely this one. I think the coaching championship means a lot more than the player ones, just because it's a little bit more dynamic, and you get to see, 20 guys or 25 guys and then some that you've helped through an entire year get to celebrate that and feel the feeling that you felt as a player. So definitely the one that we won this past year as a coach.
And to wrap it up here with rapid fire, most heated confrontation that you've had either with a player, a fan, a coach, maybe a referee of sorts. What can you tell us about said meetings with a heated confrontation that you've had?
Yeah, I think this one's a layup for sure. I would say a couple weeks ago we were in West Bend, Wisconsin, and we had a fan throw a blue garbage can down, or drop a blue garbage can down on our players when they were coming off the ice. And when I caught wind of that, I had some colorful, heated verbal exchanges with the man. And it was the closest I've been to sucker punching somebody in the face. And, you know, it was to the point where I ripped off my suit jacket, and DJ had to kind of pull the reins on me and tighten the leash and get me out of there. But both of my brothers were in attendance for that game, and they heard me beacon at this guy, and they got involved in it. And if there's one thing, it's the Moser boys. We ride hard and heavy for each other and with each other, and it would have been a really bad night for that guy if things escalated with the three of us. So the wires definitely crossed. I was seeing red at that point in time at that night. But there was a lot of passion. In front of our group of guys, and you know, they got to see me show a little bit more.
It's for the
passion
kids.
Than normal.
It's for the kids.
For the kids.
Yeah. So, yeah.
One more thing before we got to go. And
Here
I
we
don't know
go.
if you remember this that happened a few weeks ago prior as well. At one point, sitting in the office, I ended up handing something to DJ that Molly Vold won on our pick'em as well. She ended up winning a hat.
Get your picks in, by the way.
A little side comment that I caught. Say, I see a lot of hats coming in on that side of the office and not on this one. So as a little bit of compensation, obviously for me also messing up your name a few weeks ago as well.
Oh, boy.
A gift from us here at MinneZona Sports Live. Not one, but two MinneZona Sports Live hats for our guy here, Eric Moser.
Appreciate it, fellas. And you know, I know I made a comment to the big fella last night about a size large sweatpant. As soon as those find their way into my lap, $35 finds its way into your pocket. So
We know a guy.
We can maybe make that happen tonight. So yeah, I mean, I am going to be absolutely decked out and dripped up in some MinneZona Sports Live swag.
There you go.
Wearing it around. I mean, you've got a company and you want me to rep it? Send it my way. I'm repping it all. I got Girl with Joe going on right now. You just
Good
can't say,
segue.
you know, I was saving it for him because I know he's rocking it. But you know, we like to promote you know, the small local businesses around here.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So big advocate for it.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the hats.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It was an absolute blast.
Absolutely.
And you ever want a little bit more spice, just you know where to find me. You know who to call.
Absolutely.
You know,
Spicy boy here.
Yeah.
Well, add in one more thing here. We're gonna get you the sweatpants. I mean, we're gonna get it to you.
All right.
All right,
Perfect.
well, there you go.
You know, it's getting cold up here, and
man,
I've only got a couple pairs in the rotation, so I need to add to that.
Well, let's add her. Let's do it.
Do they have elastic on the bottom?
I'd
But
say
he's wearing them, so
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
I mean, hey, I'll wear those Sunday men's league. Really
There you
promote
go.
MinneZona
Right.
Sports
There you
Live.
go.
Let people see the logo out there as I'm talking. Yeah.
Well, hey, we appreciate your time, and we'll get you those sweatpants.
I
We
appreciate
got
it,
you.
fellas.
And good
All
luck
right.
tonight. Good luck tonight against the Blizzard, and we'll be watching. So
Thank you.
let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
absolutely.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right, Voldy, who do we got next?
Yeah, so we got the guy who was really basically put us in this situation. If it wasn't for him, and also Calder Cup champion Zach Fish for putting me up in the broadcast booth for a period, we would not be here right now. It's going to be our very own Joe Clemence, four-time Silver Cup champion as well, play-by-play broadcaster for your Granite City Lumberjacks. One of our day ones right here, Joe Clemence.
Yes.
Joe, thanks
Here he
for
is.
coming on, man.
Thanks, guys, for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah.
A long time overdue.
Absolutely. I know one of our biggest supporters. Obviously got the shirt, you got the sweatpants, you know.
Sweatpants last night, lost
Yep.
them, found them. They'll
Yep.
be on tomorrow. for
They'll be
sure.
on tomorrow
Yeah.
for sure. A good day to watch some football, of course. We got to talk about, too, you know, you've been with the Lumberjacks, I think just about all but 1 year, I think. With
One or two.
One
Yeah,
or
we
two,
just
yeah.
we just had this conversation not
Yeah.
too long ago. Yeah, I thought I had been here all but 1 year, but Willie and I came together. So Brad Boner, GM,
Yep.
we came over same exact time. He actually is the guy who hired me. So I think it's been 15, 16 years, but yeah, it just went by like that. 5 championships, a lot of fun.
It wasn't just kind of like, how what was that getting to, connect with Granite? It was just like, hey, we're looking for a guy to do games for us.
Honestly, so I went to St. Cloud State. I was the voice of the men's and women's Husky hockey team. I was also the sports director at the radio station and did some TV work there too. And we got an email one day from Brad saying, hey, we're looking for some play-by-play talent. Do you have anybody in your sports department? And then my good buddy, Zach Fish, and I were like, hey, that sounds like a blast.
Ding,
Let's
ding.
go do it. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
So, and it's been, we showed up on a Sunday, did a Jacks versus probably the Minnesota Owls. I think they won that game probably 34-0.
Yep.
But at the old MAC, and it's been 16 years later, here we are. So it's been awesome.
One of the things that we do, I guess we appreciate about you is being a diverse sports fan.
Yes,
Many
yes.
teams. Obviously, your Minnesota sports teams.
Yeah.
You're also a Cowboys fan, Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Ohio State football.
Yep. OH.
Yep. I'm not going to finish that for you, but we all know. And then also you're, like myself, a Boston Bruins fan as well.
Yep.
There's some connections, obviously, with a couple of the teams for you as well.
Okay.
But
Yep.
Cowboys, why?
So I'm a late 80s baby.
Yep.
And it's the same reason why I'm a Bruins fan.
Of course.
So growing up, sports-wise, it's not like it was today. 36 years ago, there was big market teams. That was all that was on TV. So one of my fondest memories is going back to the Cowboys-Bills Super Bowl. My parents had people over. And I think as a kid, that's why you see so many kids today who are Lakers fans and Warriors fans and Pats fans, because they saw them win championships, and that's all they remember.
That's exactly.
Hand to God, I remember the Bills-Cowboys game, the stomping 56-7, whatever it was. That resonated with me for a long time, and I've been a Cowboys fan probably since 1992. So since I was 5 years old. I have all the jerseys. I have Emmett Smith and Dion and Michael and Troy, the old Cowboys helmet. I mean, my family spoiled me with Cowboy stuff as a kid, and it just stuck with me. And you say I'm all over the map, and I am. I get called a bandwagon fan like nobody's business.
That's fine.
I mean,
a lot of them on their show.
yeah, I mean, how many championships does a team I cheer for do they have in the last 15 years? It's less than 3.
Less than 3.
So I think it's going back to 2008 when the Celtics won. That might have been the last one, if you exclude Ohio State. But it's been a journey, a hurtful journey. And then you throw being a Minnesota fan on all of it. That doesn't help either at all.
Well, you can thank the Vikings for all those championships with the Dallas, because the Herschel Walker trade, a lot of picks going.
Biggest trade in NFL history.
Worst trade for us, because Minnesota sports. So just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I wanted to talk about too, and I guess we've never really had this conversation, because you played baseball at St. Cloud State, correct?
Yep.
So you go from that, and I believe you got injured as well. What ultimately led you to man, maybe I'll give the broadcasting thing a go?
So, complete honesty, when I went to St. Cloud State to play baseball, I had no idea they had a sports department.
Right.
I had no idea that they did radio, that they did TV. I made a lot of really, really good connections with St. Cloud. And I was interviewed for player highlights, and I went down into the basement of St. Cloud State, and then they're like, this is where the radio station is. And I'm like, wow, I had no ideas. Fast forward 6 months later, got hurt, couldn't play baseball as well as I was recruited to do. And they said, hey, we have a sports department. We're just now starting up, literally 2007. I'm a sophomore. And they're like, would you be interested in covering, men's and women's soccer? And I'm like, sure. Like, I'll stick with sports, right? So, I did the soccer, I did the baseball, I did the hockey, I did basketball. I mean, I did all of it. Because sports is my life, If I couldn't play anymore, I wanted to be a part of it. So, doing a 6-minute segment on TV, with the sports department, that's what kind of got me hooked. And if it wasn't for Brad Wilner, honestly, messaging in, I never would do this. I mean, I would have done my 4 years at St. Cloud. I would have been happy and moved on with what I'm, whatever my journey was. But I mean, It's a painful thing to bring up. Not gonna lie, it's a very hurtful memory that I have, and that's gonna be with me for the rest of my life. But I'm here now, and I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I mean, hopefully I can try and make it a little bit better, that hurt. I don't think I've ever publicly said it, or maybe in passing as well. Thank you for obviously bringing me up on a garbage game, one period, do play-by-play color. I think it was just you and me for one game or something. Fish was already out of town or something like that, and obviously got interested in college as well, doing the radio, TV, got a job right out of school, couple of stations here and there, and now we're finally back together here this season too, doing the play-by-play in color too.
Yeah, it's just funny how that works. I mean, it's just been kind of how my lifestyle goes. I'm a trainer. I love to help people, and eventually, I've said it twice. I semi-retired. I did the Tom Brady a few years ago. I was done. I mean, I had done almost everything in this league that a guy in my position could do. The only thing I didn't get is to call a championship for my team, and I thought we had it. And then we got stomped a little bit there by Rochester, and that was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be win it and be done. And I just did that 9.5-hour drive home, and I'm like, I can't leave on that. And then the cloud separated, and bam, I got to do it last year. And now I'm kind of like, hey,
victory tour.
Victory tour. Can we repeat? Only one team has done it in the last 20 years. So it's like, it's so fun. But I got guys like you come up and help out, and you'll be the future of this team if you stick around. And I just want to make sure that this team is in good hands, because this has been my life for 16 years. I mean, it's hard to step away from the family that has picked you up, and I don't know where I'd be without them.
Absolutely. And I know, Matt, you've got a couple questions.
Yeah, so we're doing a little MinneZona. I don't know if you've heard of this segment that we usually do. Absurd or approved. ARA. So obviously we want to bring the Minnesota sports into this. Since you are a Twins fan.
Yeah.
Absurd or approved, will the Twins go farther in the playoffs this upcoming season? Joe, what do you got?
Farther than last year?
Yeah.
Ooh, right now I would say approved. I think that team is dangerously good. The pitching is something that we have asked for a decade and a half. I think we have it. We have a healthy list of guys who need to be signed. And I think that we just got through last week a couple of the big ones. But you got some big names out there, and there's also some big names that might come back. I mean, we'll see. But I feel like this team finally has it down. I was a skeptic middle of the season. I refused to watch that baseball team until the break. And then they started, I've had season tickets for the Twins since 2009. And it's like, it's hard to go and watch them do that, because they've burned me how many years. And and this year I took my son to the playoff game where we won the series when we beat Toronto, and that was like that energy that I missed. It's back. I just hope that they continue to trend the right way, and I think the AL is wide open.
I'd say so too. The only thing that could get in the way, I will say, is those damn poll ads. That's the only thing that could get in the way, and we all know how we feel about the poll ads, but I'm feeling optimistic. I'm with you. I mean, really, honestly, if you add another pitcher to this team, they're going to look great. So
I think Trevor Bauer's out there. Huh?
Exactly. That's what I've been saying for years. We got to sign
He's saying
Trevor.
on the show.
He's a Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
The guy's fun. Him and Bryce Harper are making baseball fun again.
Yep.
That's true.
Have to.
So stamp approval there. Should Michigan and Jim Harbaugh be disciplined for sign stealing, since you are an Ohio State fan? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm extremely biased. I cannot stand Michigan. I think they're trash. I think they need to be out of the
I can't
Big
even
Ten.
believe you said that team up north.
I just, it's not that weak yet, but I find it extremely comical. And let's be honest. I mean, Ohio State has been banned before. It's these big teams, big numbers. It's just they have zero discipline. Saying that Jim Harbaugh cannot be on the field for 4 hours is laughable, because he is there every single day doing the practice, and you're telling me he doesn't have some sort of signal to get onto that field. I think it's garbage. I think that team should be banned.
Fair enough.
I think they're garbage. But in all honesty, my dream matchup would be Ohio State and Michigan. Should have been last year for a national championship again, because it's been a long time. And I would just love to see that, win or lose, because I think Michigan is severely better than Ohio State this year. But Jim Harbaugh's got to go.
That's, I mean, stamp of approval. He's got to. I agree. I'm with you.
Twice in one season. There's more.
There's more. All right, last one from me. What was your favorite game to call? Going back to your Granite. So what was your favorite game to call for Granite City Lumberjacks? What'd you say?
Oh.
That comes off the top.
Easily the win last year. I mean, like I said, I have done everything. I have had every call in big times, big states, big championship opportunities. But being able to call that game, to call Van Zylen's game winner, I mean, it's the most historic comeback in junior hockey history. There is zero competition with that. Being there in that moment, having to do that, and then be able to hear that call, out of all these years that I've done this, there isn't even a game that sniffs close to last year. I mean, and I'd be a fool to say anything else, to be completely honest. Yeah.
Shield, rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All right. Now, we're going to start off here. Most memorable broadcasting mistake that you can remember from your years. Not just here, everything.
Broadcasting mistake. Boy. I wouldn't call it a mistake, but it is a do not do as a broadcaster, and you will learn this as the more you do. My very first game I ever called was St. Cloud State women's hockey versus the Golden Gophers at Mariucci. Danielle Hirsch, shout out Kyle Okposo. They were getting stomped in that game, and Danielle Hirsch shattered her leg, absolutely shattered it. And the entire time I'm broadcasting, like, she's screaming, like, oh my gosh, like, this is awful. Like, and you just don't realize those things. And then the parents reach out, and then the boyfriend reaches out, like, you shouldn't say these things.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably what sticks to me most, because it was the very first game I ever did. I didn't know anything about broadcasting, just an athlete, played sports, never really called them, but I bring that story up all the time. Still hurts today.
Hardest name that you have ever called, or with just fumbling over a name or some sort of pronunciation and it's completely off?
There is a player, and it comes up on my Facebook memories every year in about October. He played for the Minnesota Owls. The kid had 17 letters in his name, and it was like Giannis's name, but even longer and worse.
Ooh, boy.
And he was one of their best players.
Of course,
so he's scoring
of course.
all the time. So it came to the point where it was like Anna Kupiulo, something weird. He was.
I wonder if Jimbo remembers.
I remember his number. It was number 12. Played for the Owls. Yeah, he was a forward. He was really good. He scored a lot of goals. So I just called him by his number most of the time. But it'll come up. Yeah, buy a vowel, please.
Yes, buy a vowel. Which do you want more? Cowboys Super Bowl, Ohio State National Championship?
Well, I just had 2014 Ohio State, so I would go with the Cowboys because it has been a long time, 96. Youch.
Which team out of your sports fandom do you get the most flack for being a fan of?
Dallas Cowboys, 100%. Everybody hates the Cowboys, and it's the people who hate the Cowboys the most are the most sad ones, and it's the Vikings fans. And it's always the Vikings fans who give me the biggest crap. But I get asked all the time, too, Cowboys or Vikings, who do you pick? And it's always going to be the Cowboys, 100%. But, yeah, that's the big one.
What's the most random sports memorabilia that you have in your vast collection?
I have a lot of stuff in my collection, but I have a piece of both the old tarp, the very last tarp, and the turf from the Metrodome before they tore it down.
Nice.
Yep. That's probably my most random thing.
Favorite professional sporting event that you have ever been to?
I went to Game 2 of the 2013 Stanley Cup Finals where Tim Thomas shut out the Blackhawks, and then that was the last time they won.
Yep, that was it.
So that was a blast, but I was literally the last row. I paid like $700 for my ticket. I bought it 2 days prior to it happening, and it was, top 10 moment of my life. It was awesome. Yeah.
And obviously, you're a 4-time Silver Cup champion as well with this organization. Which ring, physically, is your favorite, and where do you keep them?
Boy, it's so hard not to say this one, because this one is more important than any one I think that we've ever won, to be honest, in my opinion, just because I got to be there for it. I really like the 12 because it was my first. But going back and looking at all four, it's this one. I keep all of mine in the box, and they are hung up with the rest of my sports stuff, my hockey corner in my basement. Yep.
And finishing it off as well, what's a memorable conversation that you remember having with a player, fan, or a parent? Basically, talking from them to you, basically about what you've done broadcasting-wise.
Oh, and that is an extremely difficult question. I tell you what, I am super blessed to like be in the position that I'm in. I think this organization is second to none to anybody out there. Just the fans, the parents. I can't pick one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some really fun like moments where I've had people reach out like, hey, just appreciating like what they do. Like, I think collectively that's my favorite part about it is all the fans, all the parents who just like, hey, you say my kid's name with pride, like you appreciate what they do. And that's one thing, you know, I've been called a homer 10 years ago, and it's fine. Like I try not to be, you know, biased. It's hard when you work for a team for a decade and a half, but that's one thing I pride. It's just, even I've had opposing teams come up, like I've had Mason City parents and Alex parents, coaches, like come up to me and say, hey, you do a great job. And that's why I do it. You know, it's tough to be recognized in this league and in this, you know, space of time, I guess. It's really hard to be on the internet to not get made fun of.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Being so biased, but you know, it's tough. But
I mean, that's what I got for rapid fire here.
All right, well, Joe, hey, thanks for coming on the show. I know it's been a long time. It's been a long time, and the thing is, you know, I don't know, it's tough. We had Eric on, we had DJ on.
I got one more thing
You
for
could be.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Please.
I got one more thing.
He's been stewing on this here.
This is going to upset the two of you and a lot of people, and it's going to get some flack from me. But you want your absurd comment of the year. You talk about, what do I want? Do I want Ohio State or Dallas Cowboys? I want the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys will win 2 Super Bowls before the Vikings play in 1 more. Is what's going to happen. Wow. You heard
End
it.
the show, Curf Doctor. We're done. Let's get it.
That's how it's going to be. 2 Cowboys. It's going to be another 30 years, and it's just going to be all downhill. Vikings.
The
We're
best
in
part
trouble.
about this show as well, especially right now, we got the peanut gallery going and everything. We got people yelling from offices down in the corner or whatever.
Hey,
we got booing. I wanted booing the whole time.
Rose lock. That's your lock. That is,
Joe,
Thanks,
we appreciate it.
Yes, we
look
do.
forward to working with you here tonight as well, and
Awesome.
obviously being a true day one with us here too with MinneZona Sports Live, and look forward to having you on maybe another time.
I would love to. You guys do a great thing, and go Jacks.
Yes, sir.
Go Jacks. We love it. Joe Clemence.
Play guy here.
Claps
for
all
the
around.
Lumberjacks.
Claps all around.
We're getting near the end here, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. Let's. I think there's one thing that we're gonna do. One segment that we do usually on the show. Shield, who you shouting out this evening?
Yeah, so we got to say, of course, with it being Saturday, November 11th, it is Veterans Day as well. So happy Veterans Day to all those that have served our nation, protecting our freedoms each and every day, of course. So if you see a veteran out there, thank a veteran as well. Do also have to mark, of course, it being November 11th, it is Jim Vold's birthday. Shimbo himself, hardest working man.
Yes, sir.
I know here.
Yes, sir.
Been working pretty much all day so far as well. He has been the man to deal with as well, and obviously a lovable fun paw at the same time as well. So we do also have to give a big Shield shout out and thank you to everybody at the Granite City Lumberjacks
absolutely.
staff. DJ, Eric, Brad, Jimbo, Joe as well. Brad out back as well. He's making dinner right now, so we're looking forward to that as well. So big thank you for all of them for allowing us to do this, and also to be coming on the show, allowing us to do this thing here too. So big Shield shout out to them. But of course, with Shield shout outs, as we kind of wrap things up, I do have one more surprise.
What's
and
that?
to Shimbo here.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
We've got, so here with the program, Dylan, I'm going to need you to come around here.
Curf
Matt,
Doctor.
have a seat here.
Okay.
Yep.
Curf Doctor.
Dylan, you come around as well here. I've got something for you guys.
fumble.
Obviously, I always take care of my day ones.
Sure.
My guys here as well.
Yeah.
When we came up with this idea in 2019 into 2020, pre-COVID, we didn't know we'd get this far. Of course,
That's
this is
true.
our first ever live show. We wanted to make sure, obviously, we have fun, enjoy it, and of course, being part of this program is obviously one of the best things that's been a part of my life. Obviously, I do have a son, another child on the way as well, got married, all that fun stuff. A little token of our gratitude, not just from me, but of course the Granite City Lumberjack staff. First off, let's see here. I gotta make sure I got the right ones here.
Yep.
This one is for you. Take a look here at this drawstring bag.
Oh my goodness.
Does
Look
have
at this.
The MinneZona Sports Live logo on there. For
Look
all those
at that.
are tuning in. There's a couple
Wow.
things in the bag.
Ooh,
So go ahead and open it up, Matt. I'll hold the mic here for you guys.
appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, what do we got? Oh, baby.
Yes.
Oh,
So open it up as well.
oh my gosh, and the name.
Yep.
Wow.
Personalized
Wow.
jerseys for you guys.
Oh
So that
my
way you guys can take it all with you as well.
Put it on.
You gotta put it on, says DJ.
He's right. He's right. Wow.
I tried to get Curfman his number 8. Unfortunately, Nolan Woodman would have fought me for it as well. But since he's always been our third guy here of this,
Now
I
I wanna
thought the
do a
number
hockey
3 was
fight.
exactly. I tried to put my jersey on and scratch the heck out of myself.
All right, let's go.
Had to get Callahan as number 28 as well. So that's
Hey,
just a little bit of a
AP,
surprise
baby.
here. You know, we'll get you loaded up, guys, with some swag as well, and you got a little something to carry it all with you too.
Let's
So
go.
there you go.
Oh, thank you, Shield.
Of course,
First of all.
that's gonna do it for Shield shoutouts here.
Oh
so.
my gosh.
Go and get back to work.
That's right. Yeah, sounds good.
Well, first of all,
Enough
thank
slacking
you
off.
very much, Shield. I mean,
course.
this is fantastic. I'm going to be wearing this tonight for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, the thing is there's a lot of layers. I'll probably be taking off the sweatshirt, but
Probably, yeah.
But thank you so much. This is absolutely fantastic. And you know, the thing is before we go off,
Yes.
get those picks in. You
Yes,
got to get your
gotta get the
picks
picks in.
in.
Yep.
Get your picks in. Congrats to Jack Vickers, by the way.
Yes, you got the
For getting
Percy
that
Harvin
done,
jerseys.
Percy Harvin
Yeah.
jersey. So we're in good shape there.
Absolutely.
Just remember that you know, you never know. We coming up with more stuff. We got merch. You guys
Got
know the
new
deal.
merch.
New merch going
the
on
hats.
here. The hats look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you talk to me, talk to Shield,
Yes, sir.
and then kind of go from there. We got you covered. That's the
covered.
main thing. So, but without further ado, remember, as always, folks, keep in the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show broadcast. And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the socials medias.